Well, hello. Today is Tuesday, January the 7th, 2020. My name is Angela Hooper-Menifield, and this is your HR Moment with Menifield and Associates. So today we're going to talk a little bit about focus, because focus is one of those things that keeps us on track. And if any of you are anything like me, you probably made some goals for 2020. Not necessarily resolutions, but some of you may say resolutions. And typically, what happens around the second week, things get a little less focused, and by the third week, less focused. And then typically, if you look at things like gym memberships and stuff like that, exercise routines, just things in general that we say we're going to do, usually, hey, Linda, we have stopped doing the things that we said we're going to do. So let's talk a little bit how we keep focus. So as a supervisor, oftentimes some of the things we do, even though this may not be our rating year, if we're on a fiscal year type of environment, we still start the year off thinking about, what do I want to accomplish this year? And then shiny object syndrome, we get a little distracted, things aren't going the way we wanted to, and we lose focus. So I'm actually doing a mastermind study with some other John Maxwell team members, and we just got off the study, and in the chapter of the 21 qualities of a leader, John talks about focus. And one of the participants in the group said something I've heard many times before, but when he said it today, it really resonated with me. And he said your focus is like a camera. And so, what you focus on is what'll develop or be the end result, the picture, right? And so the question is, if we really want something to take place, or we really want to make it a priority, we really have to keep our focus. But how do we do that? Well, John tells us in the book, and I really appreciate it, is it becomes a lot easier when we put our priorities in the things that we're good at. For a couple of reasons. Number one, if you enjoy doing something and you get great results from doing it, or you're proficient in it, you're more inclined to keep doing it. But the other part of this is understanding, like, what percentage of your time should you put there? And so he talks about 70% of your time should be focused on the things that you're proficient at, you love, or your strengths, right? Then 25% in new things. That was the game changer for me, because if we want to have improvement and we want to grow, we cannot stay in the areas that we're comfortable in, or as we like to say, our comfort zone, right? We have to expand ourselves. So 25% of our activities and our actions should go there. But then that last 5, we focus on our weaknesses or our lesser strengths. And so that is the prescription that's given to, maintaining your focus and figuring out how you give time. But the great analogy that really resonated with me was how our focus can be divided. You've heard the saying that, if a dog is chasing 2 rabbits, he catches neither, right? And so that's what happens when our focus is divided. So if I say my focus is, on growing my business. But then and I say I want to grow it by speaking more, and then I'm over here working on how to be a better writer. Will I get better at either? The odds are not to the level that I want to, right? If my true focus is to grow my business as a speaker, then guess what I need to be doing? Speaking. 70% of my time needs to be in that area. The other thing that resonated with me was the analogy of, have any of you ever, been to a circus or seen illustrations where people are training animals, like these wild animals, and usually they have like a bar stool looking thing and they're holding it up, and they may or may not have a whip, and we won't talk about whether that's humane or not. But the reason why it's effective and it works is because what the animal sees are those 4 legs. And those 4 legs causes them to try to focus on each one of them. As a result of focusing on the 4 legs, they're not capable or able to focus on the trainer. Therefore, their focus is divided. So my question for you is, where are you putting your focus right now? What are the things that you have, if multifaceted, or those 4 legs, or maybe it's even more for you, but what are the things that are distracting you? I can tell you unequivocally that when I think back through, and I did this while I was going through this mastermind lesson and started to reflect on the things in my life that I said I wanted to do, but was not as effective doing or didn't successfully complete, I can tell you without hesitation, it was typically because my focus was divided. And so in that self-awareness and understanding that, the irony of this is also that it's part of my business mastermind group that I just joined and we just started yesterday. One of the things I kept saying last month as we were pulling team members together and deciding who was going to be a part of this group, that one of my primary desires or criteria for the participants was they had to be singularly focused. And I think I needed that as well as them, because a mastermind group is supposed to be a community of like-minded people. And if I'm trying to be singularly focused, then who else would I want to surround myself with if not other people who are singularly focused? So as you guys move through, and again, it's only January 7th, so we've technically only finished the first year of week of the new year. But for some of us, our focus is already starting to wane, especially depending on what it is we said we wanted to focus on for 2020. We haven't seen significant results. So I just want to encourage you to remember that the goals that you set them for a reason. And if you set goals with your team, or maybe you gave out goals, because I know as supervisors, sometimes we give our team members goals. How do we keep them focused? So again, seek to give goals that add value, but also in areas of their strengths. You get buy-in a whole lot quicker when you do it that way. So what are the goals? Are they aligning with our strengths? Do they challenge us? Do they inspire us? Do they motivate us? Are they realistic and achievable, right? All those things must be a criteria. And then again, not that we want to ignore our weaknesses, give a little time to that area, but where you can delegate those things or assign those tasks to other people who can do those jobs better. My attitude about delegation is if someone else could do it 80% as good as I can, that's a task that is reasonable to delegate, because perfection is not required for everything. Everything that I have to do is not a matter of life and death. It's not going to break the bank. It's not like open heart surgery. And so instead of being a perfectionist and always needing everything done the way I want it done, I can delegate some of these things to other people. So keep your focus, stay singularly focused, pick that one thing that you're going to commit your time and energies to during this year. And then maybe in 30 days or so, we'll check back in, and I'd love to hear how you guys are doing on your focus and your goals. So that's our topic for today. Again, my name is Angela Hooper-Menifield of Menifield & Associates, and this has been your HR Moment for January 7th, 2020. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.